Anxiety isn't just panic attacks. It hides in your habits, your sleep, and even your happiness. If you've ever felt restless, tense, or like you can't shut your mind off, this is for you. My friends, here are the top 10 signs you might be living with anxiety. Let's dive in. My peaceful warriors, welcome to another important video on my channel. If you haven't subscribed and hit the bell for all the notifications, please do. And if you want to learn more about any of my recovery programs, click here. We are diving deep today, my friends. We're talking about the 10 reasons for why you might be living with anxiety. Because when you are living with anxiety, a lot of the times we can get caught off guard and go in all sorts of different directions. Could I have this? Could it be that? And I want to make sure today that you are absolutely focused on the fact that your symptoms, your thought patterns, the way you feel, the way you unconsciously react to things are coming from a state of anxiety and nothing more. So let's dive into these 10 points, my friends, and I hope that you can relate. Number one is you feel constantly on edge and restless. Even when you're tired, you just can't seem to let go. Does this sound like you? So you always feel this edginess. You feel quite irritable, like anything can set you off at any given moment, and there's always a feeling of having that baseline anxiety there constantly from the moment you open your eyes in the morning to the moment they close at night. If this sounds like you, then just know that you are not alone in this. This is a very common symptom, a trait of living with anxiety. And often, even when we're tired at the end of the day, the mind, the body will tend to give us reasons for why we cannot stop. We always have to be on guard, standing on guard, restless, and looking for the next thing that could go wrong. If this sounds like you, you may be living with anxiety. Point number two, you default to focusing your attention on what keeps your anxiety going, like bodily symptoms and future what-if scenarios, right? Do you find that throughout the day, the majority of your focus is going on aspects of your anxiety? There may be a show going on around you and all sorts of beautiful things, colors, maybe dancers, you're at a play, you're at a movie, you're somewhere where you should be kind of enjoying the moment, being with other people and such, but if you're living with anxiety, your focus is mainly going to trying to control the aspects of anxiety like your symptoms and your thoughts. So you tend to spiral around these ideas that say, ooh, what if this could go wrong? Well, if it goes wrong, then this could happen. And if that happens, then this is going to happen. Then that's going to happen. Then I'm going to make a scene in front of everybody. Next thing you know, you sprint off to the bathroom, right? And you're in this rabbit hole. So if you're living with anxiety, a lot of your focus is going towards your symptoms, the way you're feeling, your certain thought patterns that are all connected to anxiety. If this sounds like you, give me a comment below. Third possibility is often relaxing environments cause you even more anxiety, right? Isn't that weird? So, oh, Joel, I bought this really comfortable chair and I can't wait to sit in it. And the chair is sitting there in your living room and it looks so inviting and comfortable. But every time you sit in it, You feel the need to get up and do something, right? Or you're sitting in that beautiful, comfortable chair and you start fidgeting. You start looking around and trying to pinpoint what could go where, what else could go wrong, why are the walls that color, and so on and so forth, right? So relaxing environments can cause even more anxiety than normal environments, right? I've been in this place and it's really, really strange, right? Oh, people say, you should go take a vacation, maybe go on a beach somewhere, or hike a mountain, right? Or sit under a tree. Well, tell you what, back in my day, when I did these things, my anxiety went from, a 7 to like a 12 out of 10. And I was always thinking, why is this the case? So if this sounds like you, again, you may be living with anxiety, okay? Fourth reason is you're constantly looking for answers and quick fixes, but you never feel satisfied with them, right? How relatable is this? So, you feel the symptom, you go on search engines, or you go on a social media platform, or your favorite influencer to try to find the answer to this. You send emails, you send chat messages, you invite people over, you ask questions, you try to relate to what other people are going in their symptoms, right? All in the hopes of trying to mentally figure out why you're feeling what you're feeling. So, you're always looking for answers, you're always looking for the quick fix, and sometimes the answers can pan out and give you a sense of relief. Sometimes the quick fixes can give you an initial sense of relief, but soon after, maybe later on in the day or a few days after, you start going, why don't I feel the same amount of relief when I initially found the answer? So you never really feel satisfied with the things that you're trying to do for your anxiety. If this sounds like you, sounds like the anxiety cycle or the pattern to me, right? Fifth reason is your life is organized around anxiety and symptoms. How much time do I spend there? Where do I sit when I go to the restaurant, right? How far is that going to be? How far is this going to be? How many people are going to be there? What kind of air conditioning is going to be there? I got to make sure I can breathe, right? What kind of dress wear is that there? If it's too formal, then I'm not comfortable with that, and I may hyperventilate, even go into a panic attack. So, your life seems to be organized and arranged by your anxiety. Your anxiety is deciding things for you before they happen to you. And how common is this? How common is this? I mean, for me, in my own life, back in the day when I was suffering the way maybe a lot of people are suffering today, basically, it was one of those things where I could drive to like the local close enough corner store to grab something. I could drive there, but if I even gave my inner protector the idea of driving a little bit farther, or God forbid on the highway, my inner protector would go, oh no, that's too far for us, right? No, we can't handle that. So in essence, those inner protector ideas became my ideas. I was literally living in a straitjacket, right? Can I do this? No. What about that? No. What about that? No, right? So if you're organizing your life based around your anxiety, understand that it's so common practice in the anxiety world. Sixth reason is you are an expert at the subject of anxiety, but you can't seem to transition all that knowledge into your own life. Does that sound like you? You've got all this wonderful information and knowledge and wisdom and intuition seeping out of you. Someone comes to you with a similar issue and you're going, ba, 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 and they're going, oh my God, thank you so much. That was so helpful. Oh, you are just an angel. You know so much about the subject. Deep down in your head, you're going, yeah, I wish I could do it to myself, right? So you're giving great information. You're really there for a lot of people. You're helping a lot of people potentially, like friends, family members, even strangers, but you can't seem to make it work for you. Often it comes down to overcomplicating things because we know too much, right? Sometimes it's not good to be an expert in anxiety and to try to take that expertness and try to move it into your own challenges and issues. Sometimes we have to let go of all that knowing and go back to a simpler way of dealing with anxiety. But again, is this relatable? If it is, comment below. Seventh reason is often joy and happiness come with a feeling of threat. So you mostly avoid these feelings. I've been there, right? Back in the day, I literally programmed myself, conditioned myself to be numb. Because if I was emotionally numb to everything, that means positive emotions, negative emotions, then I would continue to be able to feel what I feel and hope to God that it doesn't get worse. So I trained myself to be very, very emotionally numb back in those days, right? So things that would normally cause, a certain degree of joy or happiness. I'm around my family or someone says, oh, buy a pet. And you go and you buy that cat or that dog and you have a pet in your home and you're going, well, there it is. There's my pet. I'm not really feeling much towards that pet, right? So it's very possible that you have unknowingly conditioned yourself to not feel joy or happiness, or maybe there's a feeling of undeservedness for that, because a lot of people with anxiety feel like they first have to deserve something. So the problem with that is they never fully get there, right? So what you want to start doing is start allowing yourself, at least put it out there, that it's okay to feel joy and happiness and the sensations that come with joy and happiness, because excitement sensations are very similar to fear-centered sensations. That's why we tend to try to avoid both. So this is a very common pattern. If it is for you, again, comment below. I want to hear from you. Eighth reason, woohoo, I've been here. Sleep time feels more like a battlefield with your mind and body. Oh, it's time to go to sleep. I'm really looking forward to relaxing and getting a good night's sleep tonight. Yeah, inner protector is going, yeah, you think so, eh? No, because we can't stop standing on guard for a moment. Something could go wrong. And because of all these danger-related perceptions, what tends to happen is when we lay down, we're about to go to sleep, we are no longer distracting ourselves from other people or TV or work. And that's when the inner protector feels the most opportunistic. It jumps in and gives you heightened symptoms, heightened thought patterns around fear, threat, anger, irritability. And it gives you images too. A lot of people that I work with through my program, they tell me I don't get so many thoughts, I get more images of things that happened to me in the past and reliving those traumas through my body in this very moment, right? I can completely relate. So sleep can feel like an absolute battlefield, and just really quickly, the less battling you do, right, the faster you're going to realize that The resistance to what the inner protector keeps doing in mind and body is one of those things that keeps it all going, right? So as you get better at allowing those things to be there, like feelings, symptoms, and thoughts, without throwing a second or a third or a fourth dart, right? Like the Buddha said, then you're going to start feeling like you can sleep at least a little bit better. Your quality of sleep will get better. You will fall asleep faster, my friends, okay? Number 9 is that your body tenses up all the time. All the time your body's tense, all the time. And a lot of times we feel a lot of these symptoms and we're going, there's no way this symptom can be, caused by tension. Well, I'll tell you something. Decades of tension can cause your symptoms, okay? So, and not only your symptoms, it can cause injuries. So a lot of people going up and down stairs and they do something to their knee because there's been so much tension in the quadriceps in that particular side of the body for so long, because a lot of us tend to revert to one side or the other when it comes to heightened tension. You experience an injury. Does this sound like you, right? So your body's always tense, and if this is the case, you may be living with anxiety. And finally, you replay embarrassing what-if scenarios from the past, and you beat yourself up over what you should have said, how you could have said it differently, how you could have been in a different place, how you could have dressed differently, how you could have arranged your body in a different posture, and so on and so forth. So if you live with anxiety, you're always replaying past experiences and going, I wish I would have done that. Why did I do that? Did they respond the way I wanted them to? Did I let somebody down? Right? And so on and so forth. This is a very common sign that you may be living with anxiety. But out of this list, I don't mind if you watch this video again, out of this list, how many of them can you relate to? Send me a comment below. Give this video a like if you were in fact able to relate to some of the points, my friends, and maybe it brought you some comfort in relation to maybe I am living with anxiety and that's where my focus needs to go. If that's the case, I've been there, many people have been there, and remember that you are more than anxiety. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Hit the bell for all the notifications if you want the very best anxiety support here on YouTube. And I will see you in the next video. I love you again. Bye-bye, my friends.